Here is how you get started as a content creator. I just wanted to make a simple video, not explaining all the advanced details, but just giving you a straight up system that you need to follow in order to become a creator. This is the equation, if you will, not the creator equation, but this equation to get started. So first and foremost, you have to pick what kind of content type you want to do, written, audio, or video. So basically a blog or Substack, audio being a podcast, or maybe even music if you want to go that route, and then video being like a YouTuber or TikToker, maybe live streamer if you want to really try to go for that. But I would rather you go for YouTube or TikTok, like VODs, rather than live streaming right off the bat. And so basically you have the three content types, and I would suggest picking one. As much as I always like to encourage people to do all three, you really need to start somewhere. And so the point of this video is to give you the steps and the right numbers really to kind of focus on in order to get you started, basically. And then if you follow this formula, you can eventually expand out to the other ones. So I'm going to skip over some of the details. If you want to learn more about the details, I made a whole playlist, a whole series about each one. So such as the different triangles, like the written audio and video, long form, short form, and live, these different combinations and stuff like that. So you can go check those out. For now, you basically pick one of the different types. You can start off with a blog, for example, and you make 30 posts. Let's say you want to get it done quickly, so you do 30 posts in 30 days. So for a month, you make a post a day. That's not super sustainable, so I wouldn't consider doing it for a long time. But if you just want to give yourself a challenge and you want to make sure there's not a huge long time commitment to really get started, try that out. The point is not to grow per se, because you can grow from doing that. You may not grow. YouTube can be an unforgiving place sometimes, and so making 30 YouTube videos may not get you started right off the bat. But the point is to get the reps in, so that way you get experience making content. If you want to become a content creator, you're not going to grow right off the bat. It might even take a long time to grow, and you're probably not going to go viral. Just telling you that now. That's okay. You can get good at the skills, and that'll help you grow over time. And so you pick one, written, audio, or video, and do it for 30 days. And it could be 30 weeks and just do one a week, although that would take a while. I would probably suggest doing 3 a week if you're going to do weekly. So 3 a week for, what is that, like 10 weeks or so? And then you can do 30 a day for a month. Again, you choose your sustainability rate. If you want to do it slower, that's completely fine. If you want to do it a bit quicker because you're a bit excited or you want to try to get results quicker, I understand doing that. The point is to get to 100 eventually. Start off with 30 in a month, then maybe go to 3 a week after that or something like that. Eventually you'll get to that 100. Once you get to your 100 reps, you have gained the skills. I'm not even talking about necessarily, I'm not telling you to go learn video editing or blog post frameworks and audio editing and stuff like that. Those are all skills you have to learn in that process of doing 30 to 100 videos or podcasts or blogs. The point being, pick one, do 30 of them. If you don't like it, try out a different one for 30. Same thing goes for the other 30, and you'll get to 90 posts. They do not compound, so each content type, written, audio, and video, all have their own 100 reps. I just want to make that clear. But if you don't know what you want to do, I would suggest doing 30 of each so you can get a taste of each content type, and then you can decide, you might start off with writing, then you do videos, but you decide, no, I really actually like podcasts more. That's fine. I started off with writing, then I did podcasts, and then I like videos. And it took me a while to get comfortable being on video. Now I make this video right off the bat, and I'm looking at the camera, I feel comfortable, I'm not nervous at all, and these are things that I learned by doing it enough times. I actually had to start doing podcasts first because when you're making content, you're not used to the fact that you can hear your own voice and it sounds different than when you hear it in real life. Right now, when I'm speaking, it actually sounds a little bit deeper, but when I watch this recording, it's going to sound a bit like higher pitch because I don't hear that bone conduction in my face. That's why our voices sound different in recordings versus in real life, basically. And learning stuff like that, you only really pick up after doing it enough times. Sure, I'm telling you this now, so it might help you a little bit, but it's not till you actually do 30 to 100 reps where you're like, oh, I don't really care anymore. Same thing with being comfortable on camera. Right now, I'm looking at you, but if I looked at actually me, it looks like I'm looking away from you, and it actually doesn't feel great. I don't want to get into too much of the weeds here, but essentially, 30 reps, pick one content type, stick to it, and I would probably start off with long form. Generally, you're not going to build a huge audience when it comes to short form content nowadays. Like the virality of TikTok is no longer as potent as it once was. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. If you prefer short form videos, go for it. Like if you know what you want, then do that. Don't take me telling you to do long form and change your ways. If you want to do short form, do it. I support you. I'm just saying if you don't know, this video is for those who don't know. just pick one, written, audio, or video. I would suggest doing long form because that way you get a little bit more experience that way. And generally those platforms do a little bit better. And then you could always take that long form and chop it up into clips as well. And same thing for like tweets and Facebook posts. So pick a type, do 30 of them, whether it's 30 in a month or 30 over 10 weeks or something like that. And then try to get some experience. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer any of those questions. Cheers.